In October of 2011, the National Dropout Prevention Center celebrates 25 years of service. Join with us as we look back at how this center has helped put a spotlight on one of the most critical issues of our times.
Hello, I'm Stuart Udell, Chairman of the Board of the National Dropout Prevention Network. I'm happy to introduce this retrospective on the occasion of the 25th anniversary of the National Dropout Prevention Center. For a quarter of a century, the center has led the nation in addressing one of the most important issues of our times, the successful education of all of our students, particularly those at risk of dropping out. I congratulate the center on this important landmark and look forward to the future work of building upon this historic foundation.
In 1986, at least one of 4 high school students was leaving school without a diploma, and the connection of dropout to a lack of highly skilled, well-paid workers, high crime rates, poverty, teenage pregnancy, and increased welfare costs was not widely publicized or accepted. Even with the Nation at Risk report starting to rock the education world, only a few forward-thinking individuals recognize the growing impact of dropout on both young people and our society. The collective vision of some of these individuals led to the establishment of the National Dropout Prevention Center at Clemson University. Led by South Carolinian Esther Ferguson, a group of concerned citizens known as the National Dropout Prevention Fund gathered in New York City to discuss the issue of school dropouts. These school, business, and community leaders had the foresight to recognize that there needed to be a center for people to get information about these issues and find out what educational programs were working with these students at risk of dropping out. The quest of the founders led them to Clemson University in South Carolina for a home for the new organization. The National Dropout Prevention Center entered the world on October 26, 1986, with South Carolina Governor Dick Riley cutting the ribbon. High priority tasks were to gather relevant research and information to find out what works in dropout prevention and to find ways to disseminate that growing body of research and information to educational leaders and practitioners, policymakers, and community and business leaders all over the country. Parallel to the initiation of the National Dropout Prevention Center, another group of leaders headed by Dr. Nancy Peck, who was director of the Florida Dropout Prevention Center at the University of Miami, envisioned a national organization to enable people to communicate what they had learned about the causes and cures for students who were dropping out. A series of meetings ensued, culminating in August of 1986 with a meeting of Dr. Dick Hamby of Clemson University, acting director of the new center, and Dr. Jay Smink of Ohio State University, Dr. Ray Eberhardt of the California Department of Education, Dr. Nancy Peck, and others. The eventual outcome of this meeting was historic and merged the two initiatives into what is now the National Dropout Prevention Center Network. Dr. Jay Smink became the executive director in 1988 and worked with the center staff to make the vision a reality.
Hello, I'm Jay Smink. I'm the retired director of the National Dropout Prevention Center at Clemson University. And in 1986, when the ribbon was cut on the National Dropout Prevention Center, there were numerous issues in America about the issue of school dropouts. One of the issues that we were facing was the need for a greater awareness of the issue with many different people, many different audiences. And school leaders, practitioners, as well as policymakers were searching for dropout prevention programs that were successful from kindergarten through 12th grade. In the early days of the National Dropout Prevention Center, as we began to fulfill our mission, we immediately began to develop a database of model dropout prevention programs, one of the biggest hits we had for many of our audiences. We also began to develop and distribute a variety of resource materials to a variety of different audiences. In addition to that, we began to develop a growth plan for the National Dropout Prevention Network, and a part of that growth plan was including a lot of national conferences and other professional development activities that we were developing for, again, a very wide audience.
The center responded to these needs working in collaboration with a variety of partners, federal and state education agencies, schools and school districts, national and community organizations and businesses, among others. What has been the impact of these 25 years of successful collaborations? 15 strategies for dropout prevention were identified by the center researchers. Based upon this framework, technical assistance was provided all across this nation through on-site evaluations, with guidebooks and radio webcasts, through professional development at focused institutes and trainings, and with the addition of the National Dropout Prevention Center for students with disabilities. There was significant impact on policies in many states and localities, and dropout prevention became a part of school and district planning, and so real progress was made. What do network members say about the impact of the National Dropout Prevention Center on their school improvement efforts?
I'm always impressed at the breadth of perspectives that attend the conferences and the work that you all do. It's like all the players are at the table, which is really an important aspect of what I think we're trying to accomplish, because dealing with the dropout situation is very much a multifaceted problem, and as such requires a multifaceted solution.
By the time the team had finished their visit, I was so thrilled. They did find things, bring up things, make suggestions that would never have occurred to me. They brought a credibility to it and a separateness that made it much easier to sell the things that we needed to do. And so in that way, the PAR process was absolutely invaluable for us.
The folks at the National Dropout Prevention Center help also. They came down and visited our schools. They brought us ideas. They brought us a whole bunch of places we could go to see and call for ideas about things that were working. And if any of you have worked with them a lot, you know exactly what I'm going to say. That these folks also have that same passion and make things work very hard.
25 years of making a difference. But what does the future hold for the National Dropout Prevention Center Network?
I'm Sam Drew, Executive Director of the National Dropout Prevention Center. We've had a good look at the past, how the center started, and the work we've done for the last 25 years. We have reason to celebrate. We've made a big difference in countless lives. But the challenge is still daunting, and we are looking to the future. We've been working with our board on strategic planning in at least 3 different areas. One, strategic partnerships. We think that we need to unite our efforts with others in the field working toward the same end to establish a synergy and a collaboration that will give us broader impact. Secondly, the area of research. While there's a lot of research on the dropout issue, we know why students are dropping out of school. There's room for research in the area of policy and practice and how that impacts dropout, and in particular on how we use research to come up with practical solutions that work for students. And third, the area of technology. Current and emerging technology which we think will allow us to provide services much more effectively and in a much more cost-effective way into the future. So celebrate with us these 25 years of productive work, and we ask you, as you always have, to join with us to find new ways forward to make sure that all of our kids have a chance for a promising future.
A strong collaboration with the center and network will be further enhanced by Clemson University's College of Health, Education, and Human Development.
Hello, I'm Larry Allen, and I'm the Dean of the College of Health, Education, and Human Development. And I'd like to add my congratulations to the National Dropout Prevention Center for their 25 years of wonderful service to the state of South Carolina, as well as to the nation. The Dropout Prevention Center has been instrumental in helping deal with a critical problem that we have across the United States. I have to compliment them on the wonderful outreach and research that they've done over the many years. As we look to the future, we certainly continue to see greater collaboration between the National Dropout Prevention Center and our college. We have common goals in mind. We both are extremely interested in the success of young people. The National Dropout Prevention Center has been very critical in the success of young people for the last 25 years, and we want to contribute to that by adding our expertise and our experience to their efforts and their process. The National Dropout Prevention Center will continue to be the leading edge for dropout prevention.